Hello, everyone. This is Pamela Miles from New York City. And today we're going to talk about Reiki and energy medicine and, of course, address your questions. So please feel free to ask any question that you like. And if I don't get to respond to it while we're live, as soon as the video posts, I go back to it and I will get all of the comments then. So please be patient with me because sometimes the questions come across my screen so quickly that I can't read them. So, Reiki and energy medicine. Reiki practice is commonly thought of as a form of energy medicine. And if you look at it that way, of course, that's not wrong. But if we use energy medicine as a really large category, then we can start also drawing some distinctions between Reiki practice and different energy medicine practices. And I'd like to be really clear that I love energy medicine. I was using forms of energy medicine before I ever found out about Reiki way back in 1986. And I still use them, Hello, Benny from Phoenix. I think that we all need a lot of care, probably a lot more care than we're getting. And so anything that appeals to you and that you find to be really accessible, I encourage you to do it and to have a practice that you use for yourself every day on a regular basis, particularly at the same time of day. Like I practice a full Reiki self-treatment in the morning before I'm even out of bed, usually before I even open my eyes. And that's just a staple of my life in the same way brushing my teeth is a staple of my life. I brush my teeth at a certain point in my day, a couple times a day, and I never forget to do that. Hello, Anne from Scotland. Good to have you with us. So, for you to get the best possible care, it's really smart to choose a single practice or technique, whatever appeals to you and is easy for you, and then find a time of day that is easy. Again, easy is what makes this work. Find a time of day, a time in your schedule that is easy for you to take some time for yourself. Okay? So, when I say that Reiki practice is technically not energy medicine, this is what I'm talking about. With energy medicine, there's quite a bit that we have to do depending on the particular technique because energy medicine is a huge category. But there is technique involved. With Reiki practice, it can be this simple. I place my hands on my chest or anywhere on my body, and now I'm practicing Reiki. I take my hands away, and now I'm not. Place a hand or both hands on my body again. Right now I'm on the crown of my head, and I'm practicing Reiki. Take my hands away, and now I'm not. So that's the first distinction between Reiki practice and any kind of energy medicine that I'm aware of. And of course, I'm not aware of every possible technique, but since I have been using energy medicine for, I guess it's been about half a century now. I started when I was an adolescent. I have come across a lot of techniques, and as I said, I have ones that I like a lot that I continue to use, ones that I use very regularly, others that I use occasionally. But they all involve some training. And then also they involve our attention in a way that Reiki practice doesn't have to. Of course, it's wonderful when we place our hands to practice and we pay attention to our practice. And, then we get the most possible benefit from the practice because we're layering our awareness with our hands-on practice. But we don't have to pay attention. And so Reiki practice is extraordinarily accessible. Even if I have to make a phone call, I can still be practicing Reiki while I'm making that phone call. And that's great because maybe I have a difficult phone call that I need to make, or maybe the friend that I'm listening to is suffering, and practicing Reiki on myself helps me stay steady for him or her. Hello, Nancy. I'm so glad to see you with us from Vancouver. So, Reiki practice does not need our attention, although everything is enhanced by attention. And another difference between Reiki practice and energy medicine is that with energy medicine, we are intervening. Hello, Debbie from Toronto. So we're intervening in the way that people who are licensed healthcare professionals intervene. That they're moving into the situation. Hello, Victor from Texas. They're moving in to your system and reorganizing things. Now, look, energy medicine is not such an intense intervention as most conventional medicine is, like a pharmaceutical or a medical procedure or surgery, for example. So we're not talking about that intensity of intervention, but nonetheless, even if you're practicing acupressure, maybe some of you have helped your digestion by working this point. It's called large intestine 4, that is in the web between the thumb and the forefinger. And if you feel it now, you've got the right place where it's a little intense. So it's good to work that a little bit. It can help a lot, but you can feel that you're making something happen. And when we practice Reiki, we're not really making something happen. We're inviting something to happen. And hello, Jillian from Scotland. So we place our hands, and whatever it is that we carry in our hands through the grace of our Reiki initiations, no matter what lineage we're in, that piece of information is heard, and use that in quotes because I'm just painting a picture here to give an idea rather than saying that that's precisely the way it happens. Okay, so the system that we're connecting with when we touch for Reiki practice or place our hands near someone, that person's system, our own or somebody else's, registers the piece of information that we carry in our palms, and then it responds to that. So Reiki practice evokes a profound self-healing response from deep within the person's system. And this is true whether we're practicing on ourselves, we're practicing on someone else, another Reiki practitioner is practicing on us. When we place our hands on or near somebody else, that person's system is responding, but also our system is responding. You know what I'm talking about, right? How it can be really hard to keep your eyes open, to stay aware and alert when you're practicing Reiki on somebody else. And, it's not that you need to do that for the sake of the Reiki practice, But you kind of do need to do that so that you don't fall asleep and then knock your head on the person that you're practicing on, right? I mean, when we're practicing Reiki on somebody else, it's our job to kind of take care of that person. Hello, Norma and Kavita. Do tell me where you're joining us from. That's always fun to know. So, Reiki practice and energy medicine are similar in that they are influencing the subtle aspects of the human system, or the animal system, or the plant system, any living system. They're not a physical intervention, even though Reiki practice has physical touch. Hello, Norma from Utah. So the difference, a big part of the difference, is whether we're trying to make something happen or we're passively offering our hands and then observing to see what happens. And when I practice, and I still practice the way that I was taught 31 years ago, and I was taught by Reiki masters whose Reiki masters had been taught by Hawaii Takata, or who themselves had been taught by Hawaii Takata. And then I never did anything with the practice. So I practiced Reiki the way it came to the U.S. in 1938 or 37. Hello, Alley Cat from St. Pete, Florida, and Kavi from Mumbai, India. And your practice may be very, very different. Okay, your practice may be very, very different. But I think that even when people have added things to the way they practice, made it more complicated, that the essence is still there. The essence of human touch, or almost touching, and we're talking about first degree practice, and that something happens just from that, whether or not you do anything more. Does everybody agree with that? I'm seeing a lot of hearts, so I don't know whether that means yes, you do agree, or that was just coincidental. Hello, Nikki from Glendale. So, there are energy medicine techniques that you can use on yourself, just as you can practice Reiki on yourself. That's something that they have in common. It's more about the ease of the practice. And hands that heal. Another thing that distinguishes Reiki practice from most energy medicine techniques is that we're initiated into Reiki practice. So when we get our Reiki training, preferably from a qualified Reiki master in person, if that's available to you. And I understand that that's not always available to everyone, and so we all have to make the choices that are right for us. But when you receive your training, part of your Reiki training is receiving initiations, and the initiations are the backbone of Reiki practice. The initiations empower us to practice. Good afternoon, Helen. Where are you joining us from? So without the Reiki initiations from somebody who was initiated into Reiki practice by somebody who was initiated into Reiki practice by somebody who was initiated into Reiki practice, and going back through the lineage to Mikao Usui, the founder of Reiki practice in Japan about 100 years ago. It was between 1922 and 1926. So, you may not know, hello Margarita from Lisboa and Anne from California. You may not know all the people between you as a Reiki practitioner and Mikao Usui. But if you're practicing Reiki, that lineage is there. And you can honor that lineage because we stand on the shoulders of our teachers. Hello, Anne from California. Okay? So is that helpful? People often ask me about the distinctions, and if you have another question about that, just let me know. Hi, Teresa. Good to see you again from Toronto, and Angelica from Mount Shasta. Lucky you. And Beth from rainy Illinois. Yes, we're not having rain today, but I think we're going to get it in a couple days. Why don't we take a few minutes to practice together? Hello, Annette from New Mexico. And you can practice in the way that you practice. I have a clock here, which I'm going to watch to make sure that I keep the practice brief, because I know people are very busy, but you know, even 2 or 3 minutes of Reiki practice can make a significant difference in your day. And I also think that there's something very special when we practice together like this. We're encircling the globe in Reiki practice. We have people here from India, and I'm here from New York, and lots of places between the two. And also the people who will be watching the video, please take a few minutes and practice with us, because spiritual practice, you know, the spiritual realm is that realm which exists beyond time and space. It's that place where we're always together, where there is no separation. And the reason why we have a spiritual practice is to help us be more aware of that oneness. That oneness is our spiritual life, our spiritual selves. When we get to the heart, the deepest part of our heart, we're all one. And our spiritual practice is to help us be more aware of that. And don't you think that that's something that the world could use, having more people who are taking some time each day to be aware of the depths of their hearts, where we're all one, where we experience that oneness. So let's do it now, okay? And I'll zip my lips so we can practice mostly in silence. I'm going to place my hands on the crown of my head, and then my heart, and then my abdomen. I'll watch the clock, and I'll let you know when I'm moving my hands in case you want to move yours, but you practice the way that is best for you and according to where you are. And if you can, close your eyes, and for the next couple of minutes, just let yourself drop deeply into your heart. Now I'm moving my hands to my chest, and you place your hands as you prefer. And now I'm placing my hands on my abdomen, and again, you place your hands where it's comfortable for you. Please keep your eyes closed for just a little longer, but you can let your hands relax whenever you're ready. And with your eyes closed, notice how you're feeling. Notice any difference, any little difference between the way you feel now and the way that you felt when you started practicing. Think of a word or two or three that describe that difference, that describe how this brief Reiki practice has changed the way you feel. And then when you're ready, please let your eyes open just a little bit so you can get your fingers to your keyboard and type in those words, or even a single word. And let me know, and let everyone know the difference that your Reiki practice has made today. You know, sometimes we are so used to being able to alter our state, improve our state of mind. Kavi says supported, beautiful, such a profound word. And Anne says calm and peace. Beth says peaceful. So keep them coming. We're so used to being able to change our state in this way that we forget how valuable it is to other people. Enlightened, at peace, peaceful, safe, calmer, more focused, calm, quiet, safe, such an important word in today's world, and centered. So, you know, when somebody asks you about Reiki practice and you're kind of, you know, you want to share so much and you don't know where to start or you don't know where to stop, I think probably we've all been in both of those situations, calmed, peaceful and relaxed. So think of these words, and you can always say when somebody asks you about Reiki practice, you know, like typically they say, what is Reiki? And you can say, you know, I have a hard time talking about it, but I can tell you what it does for me and the reason why I love it. It helps me feel, as Margarita is saying, more calm, peaceful, quiet, and happy. And relaxed, Iris says, relaxed is so important because relaxed opens the door to self-healing. When we're stressed, our innate self-healing mechanisms cannot function because where our systems are all tied up dealing with the stress. Make sense? So our Reiki practice is such a simple and accessible way to make a very, very important difference in the way that we feel. Because when we feel better, when we feel calm, safe, supported, relaxed, centered, all of these beautiful words, then what happens? We make better decisions, right? We make better choices. We decide to do things that help us stay feeling that way. And also, our calmness influences people around us and maybe even more. So this way, one by one, each of us taking care of ourselves and watching our state and bringing our state back to center, we build a world in which peace is possible, in which sanity and love can reign. So please think about that. And I want to make sure you know that the Shift Network Energy Medicine Summit, which is a free online summit, starts today, Monday, and goes through Friday. So you can sign up at any time, and there is 48-hour access to all of the people who will be speaking as part of the summit. And I'll put the link so that you can sign up for it, or go to Reiki Medicine and Self-Care, or Pamela Miles Reiki, I think it is, on Facebook, and you'll find it on one of those posts. And sign up, and you know, maybe you'll learn some other techniques. There's a lot of great speakers, and on Wednesday I'll be speaking about Reiki practice. Okay, any questions before I say goodbye? Goodbye for now. I'll hold on just a moment, see if anything else comes through. Okay, I'm seeing hearts, and I love that. That doesn't make me want to finish, I'll tell you that. I just want to sit here and see the hearts and commune with all of us who have just practiced Reiki together or are still practicing Reiki together. Lots of love to all of you. Bye-bye for now.